Great. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, yeah. I know. Thank you very much for taking the time to join this call, Karen. I know. I mean, the analogy that I would like to use is that we build race cars, right? But we don't get to drive them, because we can only make them. You guys get to drive them, so it's always exciting for me to learn about how well we are doing a job. I mean, how well we are doing our job, and how user friendly the tool is. You know, uh, that's really what we are trying to understand here. Yeah, if you could please get started, we can go from there. Yeah.
Okay. So, my name is Karen Rodriguez. I'm an operations supervisor for NFI Industries.
Okay.
So I oversee the inbound and receiving department. So a lot of what we do, obviously, we process all of our inbound loads. So we process standard inbounds as well as return inbounds.
Okay.
So the way that we utilize LoadProof is for every inbound load that we get, we validate every item. We take pictures of every item. We create a load for every load.
Yep.
And if we get any damages or any issues with the inbounds,
Yep.
we use LoadProof to take pictures of the issues.
Okay.
That way we document not only which items did come in the shipment.
Yep.
B, we are able to document any issues that came with it. That way it helps us against claims against us.
Great. So, do you guys run any type of vendor performance process or tool? Vendor performance, right? I mean, you rate your vendors based on the quality infractions they might have and things like that. You guys doing anything like that?
Yes, so it's more so for the returns aspect of it.
Okay.
So any repeat offenders that have a tendency of not sending all of the items that they say they're going to send, or sending items that are consistently damaged, for example.
Okay.
Like if we have one store in particular that sends damages constantly,
Okay.
or one store in particular that's constantly sending us shortages,
Okay.
then we start a documentation process and we send them, well, I have this load from yesterday, this load from last week, and this load from a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
where we have consistently received shortages from you, and these are all of the loads.
Got it. And are those stores that are sending product to you guys? What stores are those?
So it's different distribution centers.
Okay. Okay.
Or so the distribution centers are the ones that send us the returns.
Yeah.
Or in terms of like the standard freight, we typically get those directly from the vendor.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. So what was the problem that you guys were trying to solve?
So before we started using LoadProof, we didn't really have a way to, other than manually checking off a piece of paper,
Yeah.
To validate that we were getting shortages on our loads, or hey, this came damaged. But we would use maybe a cell phone or something to take pictures. But especially since we have split shifts, sometimes the person that took the pictures would go home and not send the pictures to anyone.
Yeah.
And we didn't have one standard set in place on how we were going to process it.
Okay.
So that's kind of where LoadProof came in.
Okay. So is it like you guys were taking photos already, with your smartphone, and that was just not manageable?
No, it wasn't, because again, you had different associates going and taking the pictures, but then they wouldn't follow up with the emails. They would go home for the night.
Yeah.
And usually when they're hourly associates, you can't have them send you the pictures or ask them for the information because they've already gone home for the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's when we integrated LoadProof, and we actually installed it onto a workplace tablet.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if anybody did go home, we still had access to the file.
Great. So you guys understood the importance of having photos. It just you didn't have a good system that would help you manage the process.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's where LoadProof came in.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the key benefits that you guys experienced with LoadProof? If you could please list, hey, without LoadProof, we struggled with these 4 or 5 things, and then with LoadProof, these are the key benefits that are, very useful for you guys.
Mm-hmm. So we did struggle with having proof against claims, right? So we wouldn't take pictures of all of the load that came in. So it was hard for us to challenge back the vendor that would say, no, we sent everything, and we just it was kind of word for like a statement versus statement, if you will.
Yeah.
So it was hard to validate. And then so with the damages that would come in, a lot of the times initially before LoadProof, the vendors would challenge us or the stores would challenge us and they would say, no, we sent it perfect. You guys damaged it upon arrival.
Okay.
So those are really like some of the key issues that we ran into:
Yeah.
shortage claims, damage claims, just kind of validating the loads that we did get versus what we didn't get, or the condition that we got them.
Yeah.
So when we did start using LoadProof and we did start creating loads for every shipment that we received,
Yeah.
we documented every unit that we got. We validated it on paper as well.
Yeah.
But pairing those together, we could essentially double down and say, no, this is what we're missing,
Yeah.
or you guys sent us an overage of this.
Okay.
And honestly, integrating LoadProof was remarkably easy. It's
Okay.
very user friendly, and
Okay.
actually, I really like that about LoadProof.
Okay. Okay. Great. So what were the claims, right? I mean, if a vendor is shipping, product to you guys, right? You are, checking against your packing slip, right? I mean, sometimes there might be an ASN, advance shipment notice, or there is, none, or sometimes it may be a paper ASN, right? Which is packing list or some kind of a, receiving report or something that you guys are printing in your facility. What is that claims? I mean, would a vendor submit claims or would a store submit claims to you guys, or how does that work?
It was more frequent that that the stores would send claims. Sorry. So
Okay.
usually on their returns, they
Yeah.
would state, I sent you items A, B, and C,
Okay.
and we would only get A and B.
Okay.
So on paper, we would document the shortage, but on LoadProof, we would take pictures of the units that we did get.
Yeah.
So we could tell them, no, this unit, you shorted us.
Okay.
We didn't pick one unit at random to say that we didn't get it.
Yeah.
You did not send the item.
Okay. So now we are able to go back and say, hey, either, so what happened, right? Because of this photos, and now you showed the photos, did your claims reduce, or did people, take that and, cancel their claims, or, what exactly happened once you started showing photos with your stores and the, vendors?
Yeah, so once we actually started validating our claims and having physical documentation of what items we did get versus what we didn't get,
Okay.
because we would get chargeback for our claims. So the chargeback would be the price of the unit.
Yeah.
That they would charge against our facility.
Okay.
So when we started documenting it, the claims started getting denied, and we wouldn't start getting dinged for the supposed shortages.
Yeah. 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 So no, that's very interesting. I mean, you guys get chargebacks for returns and also for receipts from vendors.
Yeah, so like if for example, damages.
Okay.
So because I work in a third party logistics company.
Correct.
So let's say that the vendor sends us something that's damaged and we
Okay.
don't document it properly.
Okay.
Then our the customer that we work for,
Oh,
if
you are
they go and
shipping. You are getting it from the vendor, and you are shipping to the retailer. Someone,
Yeah.
On behalf of, the vendor, right? On behalf of
Yes.
the OEM vendor.
on
Okay.
behalf of the customer.
Okay,
Mhm.
customer. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
So let's say they send us a damaged unit, we don't document it properly, and
Yeah.
then the customer goes and they check that unit, or they subsequently gets examined for damages. If it's found to be damaged and we have no proof that it was damaged when we received it,
Yeah.
we eat the cost of the unit.
Got it. Got it. Because you did not tell the vendor that, hey, this was damaged and this is how we got it. So you guys have to eat it.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So
Okay.
ever since we integrated LoadProof and we started using it for all of our loads, for all of the things that we suspected to be damaged or did receive as being damaged,
Yeah.
it's really helped us against claims.
Okay, nice. So, I mean, you could be liable for a lot of things if you don't pay attention. Especially
Yes.
right, the vendor is sitting there and thinking, hey, we did everything perfectly, and you guys should have. And you are running a 3PL obviously on behalf of a OEM or a brand, and you're shipping on behalf of them also to a retailer, and it's very very easy for the OEM or brand turn around and say, hey guys, you screwed up. Right? Oh
Yeah.
my God. Okay. So that's a very tough spot to be in.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's one of the things that I've really liked about the LoadProof system, is that how easy it is to create loads, how easy it is to. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, I'm so sorry about
No, no,
that.
no problem, no problem. No, no, that's okay. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. So the vendor is shipping to you guys, and you are, supporting a brand or OEM, and you're receiving the product on behalf of an OEM and brand, and shipping to a retailer, big box retailer, on behalf of that OEM and brand. And if you didn't pay attention, the vendor is going to say, "Oh, we did everything right," and the retailer is going to reject it. Then you are in trouble because you guys thought everything is perfect. But what I'm surprised is, I mean, technically, ideally, in the ideal world, right, when everything is perfect and nice and dandy, you should be able to catch it, when you guys are receiving it, when it is damaged, right? Or is it like a pallet flow facility, or is it like a pallets in, pallets out type of thing, where that might get challenging to catch those damages?
So it's not on. It's typically not on pallets. It is appliances.
Okay,
So think, big kitchen appliances, or like a refrigerator, a range, a washing machine.
got it.
Things of that nature, and they're usually floor loaded and offloaded by clamp.
Clamps, yeah, yeah, I know clamps. Yeah, I've seen them clamps. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, great. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So it is sometimes easy for the forklift operator to not notice, or sometimes like the damage is in the back. The box is torn on the side, but they're taking it out in packs.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, got it, got it. So how is your life better now, right? With LoadProof, before, what are some of the challenges that you guys are dealing with? Did you try explaining to your, vendor, or do you try explaining to the retailer, or even the OEM, brand customer, and then how is, that easy, from a customer support perspective, from a, clarifying, any type of clarification that you guys have to provide. If you could please talk about before and after, that'll be great.
Yes, absolutely. So before we started using LoadProof, before we integrated it to be consistent,
Yeah,
we would not have photo documentation of every load that we would get. We would not typically have photo documentation of every possible damage. But ever since we adapted it, with every load that we offload, we take the pictures, and it makes it much easier for us to, if a driver did miss a damage,
yeah.
someone else, the person that's taking the pictures, will catch the damage.
Ah, okay.
So that has definitely saved us in terms of damage claims, in terms of because again, when it comes to damage claims, if we don't catch it right when it's being unloaded, right upon the receiving,
Yeah,
then we as a facility end up eating the cost.
correct. And that is, I mean, these appliances are expensive, right? I mean, a refrigerator could be
Yes.
anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. I mean, if you miss a few dents or scratches, that's a lot of dollars that you guys have to pay from your pocket.
Yes, exactly. And we do end up paying out the full retail price of the unit.
Wow,
Yes.
wow,
So
man,
those that's huge.
full retail price. Wow,
Yes. Yes,
wow.
so if a refrigerator, and sometimes these refrigerators are upwards of $4,000 or $5,000. We
Yeah,
have those special bespoke Samsung refrigerators, for example. Those
yeah.
retail for
With
about
some
$2,000.
some have those special, what do you call, flat screens and all that, right?
Yes, and we do
Oh,
get a lot of those. A lot of the
wow.
LGs that have like the hub, that have the Wi-Fi, the smart screen, and all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, not documenting the processes before, we would eat the cost of all of those units, and it would absolutely just make or break us sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand, how, sometimes, right, the 3PL business is tough.
Hmm.
It's very lean margin, and you guys don't have control over the inventory cost. You're primarily controlling, by the, everything from the labor cost and the, other overhead, right? The building and rent and things like that. So if you have few instances of that, you would lose, and you might not even be profitable, right?
Yes, exactly. So that's
Wow.
why it's been so important, and LoadProof has been so key in catching these errors, catching these mistakes, making sure that we validate that no, we did get this shortage, we did get this overage, but more importantly, no, this arrived damage. We
Yeah.
have the picture of the load. Here's the proof.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Wow, wow. Okay, so now we are able to, what happens now, right? If somebody, they issue a chargeback. I mean, won't the chargeback go to the OEM or the brand, and then come to you guys, right? Because
Yeah,
you don't have any type of accounts payable or accounts receivable relationship with the retailer, right? It's the
right.
OEM. Yeah. So
Yes.
so so how would that work? I mean, they would issue a chargeback or penalty to the OEM brand, and they will charge it back to you guys because, yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
typically how it works is the vendor or the stores, for example, they will submit a claim
Yeah.
to the customer,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
to the OEM.
Yeah.
So the customer then reviews the claim, and if they determine that their claims are valid, then they go ahead and approve it, and then they let us know, hey, this person submitted a claim. We went ahead and approved it, and it's gonna come out to about this much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And do you guys get to keep the refrigerator, or do some kind of scrap or something like that, or that's not available for you guys any longer yet?
So it still stays within the scope of the actual the the OEM.
Okay,
So what we usually have to end up doing is inventory the department. They kind of take control of it from that point,
okay,
and they categorize it as either a scratch and dent
yeah,
or a salvage. So if
salvage.
it's
Okay,
scratch and dent,
yeah,
then they'll arrange for like another third party
okay,
to collect the load of other scratch and dent items
yeah. They
that
would
they would
probably
go
do
ahead
a
and liquidate.
second sale or something, or
Yes.
auction or something like that, right?
Yes, exactly. So it'd be like a liquidator, and
Liquidator.
then
Okay.
all the salvage would essentially just be kind of sold for scrap metal.
Ah, very interesting. Very okay. All right. So that helps understand the process. I mean, that's a very very tough spot to be in, and having a tool like LoadProof is a big lifesaver, and hopefully that's gives you good sleep in the night. It's not
Mm-hmm.
as what do you call bad as it was before.
Yes, no, exactly. It's been extremely helpful. Like I said, the integration was actually remarkably easy. It's really self-explanatory.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
hand the tablet to a person that has load proof on it.
Yeah.
You just kind of explain to them, you do this, you upload the pictures, you document the load that it came off of the store that it came from. Like, all right, cool. You do one load with them, and then they're set to go for ever.
Okay. So you trained your users at the receiving dock.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. And how was the did people ask questions about, hey, now why do I have to do this? This is an extra thing I have to do. This type, taking photos is taking more time and things like that.
Yeah, so initially they do ask the questions like, "Hey, this is just an extra step. Do we really have to do this?"
Okay.
And then what I like to do is I like to show them the claims that would get approved before. Like, you know what? Since we didn't catch this on time, we paid out $2,000 for this unit.
Wow.
Since we didn't catch this on time, we paid $800 for this washer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, this is an extra step, but in the long run, this is how much money we're gonna save ourselves.
Exactly. 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 So once they get it, then they follow it.
Yes.
So approximately, right, per month, how many dollars you guys would save using LoadProof? Just very very high level, right? Very very high level, very approximately high level.
Okay. So because we catch damages at least every day.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, so we catch inbound damages all the time. So, actually, it was just yesterday that we caught 5 microwaves that were damaged.
Okay. Okay.
So, these were over the range microwaves, and those kinds of microwaves typically, I want to say they were Samsung microwaves, and they'll retail for about, let's say, give or take about $700.
Wow. Okay. So that's
Yeah.
$3,500 times 700 times five.
Yes. And that
Wow.
was just in one day.
Okay. Okay. And that happens
So,
throughout the month.
yes.
Okay. And do you guys do it on Saturday, Sunday also? Do you guys
Yes.
receive and okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
We are a 24-hour facility.
Wow. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of dollars at stake.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
we were doing really poorly in terms of catching these damages and making claims and just kind of protecting ourselves before.
Yeah.
There's been such a huge turnaround.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So your life, that's what we want to do, right? That's what we that's our job, to provide tools for people like yourself, to make your life better. Okay, great. So would you recommend LoadProof to someone else that is in your role?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, I had the opportunity to work in another building.
Okay.
It was still through my company, but to go assist with somebody that was dealing with the same account,
Okay.
and they weren't using LoadProof, and I immediately recommended it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I told them like, hey, there's this program. You can even use it on your phone because sometimes I won't have access to the tablet and I need to check something really quickly, or I see a damage someone else is unloading, so I just pull my phone out really fast and I just use the LoadProof app.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether or not they did end up integrating it because it kind of has to go through like the high level process. They have to get the tablet, they have to get
Correct.
the all of that. But
Correct.
I did show them and they seemed really impressed. So I tell them like, hey, this has been a game changer. You need to use it.
Game changer. Wow, that's the right word. It's a game changer for you guys. Okay, that's the
Yeah.
right word. Okay, nice, nice. See, you also know, see, there is another app that we've launched. It's called LoadProof Viewer, right? See, today, if you want to go and look at photos, you have to go to your computer in the browser and log in and look for photos, right? You know,
Mhm.
from LoadProof.
Mhm.
So you can do that from the mobile app itself now.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. So you can install that app, in your both, the Zebra tablet as well as, even on your phone. It's available both in Android and iOS. Actually, we are giving it for free now. You can, we can get one for you for free as well. And you don't have to always, right? If you are in a meeting somewhere and you're talking to someone and they're asking questions about a certain load, you can just, pull out your smartphone, just search for that load. Whatever you do in the browser in your computer, you can do the same thing in your mobile device, and then, find the photos and then share right there as well.
That is really cool because that was the one issue that like I couldn't pull up the loads through my phone, that I had to go to a desktop.
Yeah.
So the fact that you guys kind of already thought ahead of that and addressed it, that is so cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll be happy to, give you a link, or you can download and, use it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So great, great. So what other, is there anything else that we can do to make your, role job easier, better? Any other capability that you struggle with, or hey, this is not working exactly smoothly, or this is something that I would like, anything like that?
Honestly, like I said, aside from that one thing, I loved everything else about it. I loved how user friendly it is. I love the ease of access. I like how, it covers so many important things that you need covered, but it's also extremely easy to work with.
Okay, okay,
So in terms of like any issues or anything I wanted to see changed or addressed, you guys essentially already fixed it by having access through the mobile phone to look at the files and to look at the pictures.
okay.
So that was just the one thing. So
Okay.
that's great.
Okay, great. Okay, great, Karen. I mean, that's all I have. Thank you very much for taking the time to, share your, feedback and thoughts, right, on the load proof experience. Please, feel free to reach out to us if there is anything else that we can do for you, in terms of, making the tool better, easier, any type of enhancements that we can do for you. Thank you very much for taking the time to, share your feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.
Okay, you too. Thank you. Okay,
Bye.
bye bye.